Hello everyone! This video will be covering the 2 dev live streams that took place at the beginning of June and condensing down 4 hours of information and footage to a manageable size. Let's get started. The animation team has almost completely finished all of the animations for the dragons of 1.0. This includes some reworks and new emotes for the existing dragons. With the mega map not coming until 2.0, the devs will be using a portal system to connect a selection of store-bought and in-house made maps. This has some huge advantages, such as each map having a different setting, maybe some on a cluster being PvP and another on PvE. It will also let players avoid heavily foliaged jungles if their PC is on the lower side of settings. Speaking of settings, the devs showed off how the game looks on high, medium and low settings, each giving more FPS, and honestly, I think they all look great, even on low. Epic, developers of Unreal 5, do not actually recommend using Epic settings for any games yet, unless you have one hell of a PC. It is more for future PCs than how they currently are at the moment. The 3 maps we have seen so far are the Dangerous Dunes, the Jungle and the Lava Lands, with the 4th and very well known map coming, the Forgotten Forest. All of these maps were getting a lot of love and attention to bring them to life, including caves and cave systems. The Lava Lands will be getting a burning forest, and the Forgotten Forest redwoods and swamps will be expanding. More maps will be added as new dragons are added, such as the ocean or frozen tundra biomes. The devs are looking at the practicality of adding a server event to the Lava Lands, which will have the volcano erupt. However, with this being a multiplayer game, they are still unsure how much enjoyment it will bring with it, or if it will just force players to leave the map until it's over. Many things sound fun when first presented, but when it comes to actual gameplay, less so. The Lava Lands will certainly be harsh enough to survive as it is, with bubbling pools of lava and sulphurous lakes surrounding the lands. Water will likely only be found in caves, and here's hoping for geysers. What won't be struggling to survive in the Lava Lands are the Magma Elementals, a new creature that players will have a chance to unlock through gameplay. These hotheads feed off magma and grow more powerful each dragon they eat, though the dragons need to be able to produce bile. They are slow, lumbering creatures and easy to avoid if you're careful, but with their ability to disguise themselves as well as throw boulders to knock dragons out of the sky, they are certainly a foe to be respected. Some of their attacks look just brutal. However, there will be dragons that seek them out, not only for the challenge they bring, but also the rewards that come from killing them. Elementals do not have a nesting mechanic and won't grow through different life stages. They will also be unable to understand dragons in chat and vice versa. They do, however, have different skins that can be earned and unlocked. In fact, if you're playing the game currently, or buy the game before 1.0 comes out, you will automatically unlock the Light Elemental skin that can be applied to any of the elementals that come to the game. Kickstarters who pledge for the beta head start will now have a 3-day head start for any non-DLC dragon that is newly added to the game. For 1.0, this will be the Infernal Ravager. Note, this is just for spawning in, so for those players who have access to it and nest, they will be able to invite any player to hatch as one of their offspring. This gives the pledge tier a lasting bonus, while also acting as a slow rollout for the dragons to ensure there are no major issues before everyone is able to spawn in as it. We have some new information on the Blitz Striker, such as its ability to fly as soon as it hatches. This will give the Blitz an opportunity to nest in areas most dragons will avoid, as the hatchlings will be able to follow their parents to food and water rather than needing to be brought to them. Blitz Strikers also only have 1 egg at a time, so parents should take extra special care of their new Zappy Flappy. Sunslayer worms now have a death animation and damage progression skin. I know many are ready to take on the challenge of killing this class 10 AI for both its loot, skin and glory. The Slayer worms will have set areas that they hunt in, with very little resources around. Good luck finding them before they find you. The devs also plan on adding a class 10 AI to the oceans once aquatic dragons are brought to the game. This will provide the same dangers and equivalent rewards as the Slayer worms. Swimming is planned to have a massive rework in the future updates, and the devs plan to make the oceans its own biome with a lot to explore. We have already heard of the Long Drake coming to the game, inspired by Eastern dragons. Well, the devs have said they would like to add an aquatic dragon that is able to fly just above the water, much like a flying fish, as well as a water behemoth which other dragons will be able to rest on, so we may well get a dragon turtle-like design. The Bio and Singecrest have both been confirmed to be able to take off from the water, and devs plan to add a lot of water interactions such as splashes, ripples and a wet texture to dragons. This will also follow through to footprints which have already been modelled and dust effects. In dev, dragons will be getting an upgrade to their Ragdolls, including Ragdoll effects to wings, and they do want to eventually look into mixing animation and Ragdoll physics in order to make the effect look more realistic. A new stamina system is coming to the game called Second Wind. This will let dragons dip into a reserve stamina pool to help them reach the clouds. However, it will leave the dragon exhausted and require a rest to replenish. The hybrid is starting its journey to come to the game, with a lot of meetings taking place to work out how the wings are going to work and move while still looking realistic. There are always questions as to when the game will be coming to consoles, and the answer is that while the current game will not make the transition, the devs do plan on making a single player game for both PC and consoles that will let everyone experience the world. Unfortunately, this doesn't extend to Mac, as there are too many systems and requirements that Mac is unable to support. Concerning PC health with the new graphical upgrades, the devs aim to make the game as accessible to as many people as possible, but there are limits. Legacy servers will remain open while they're still active, and players will be able to launch or continue their own legacy servers well into the future. However, bringing the new dragons to legacy is not something currently on the cards unless there is a massive barrier to entry for 1.0, and it needs to be understood that unless the devs were able to hire another dev to do the conversion for them, then it would stall game progression for a few months at least. Encryption and anti-cheat measures are coming to 1.0, both from Unreal 5 and custom made for the game. This will also prevent save files from being manipulated. The devs want to make sure that they give the server owners the tools that they need to help run their servers, but they have no plans on making them able to unlock content they would not normally have access to. Lastly, the test server should be up and running sometime next week. If you'd like to get access to the test server, you can become a patron. Even at the lowest tier will get you in. The link, as well as the links to the live streams, can all be found in the description. See you soon!